Welcome back to my channel, Adventures in America. If you are new to my channel, my name is Jocelyn, and for today's topic, I'm going to discuss some good news and bad news for US passengers going to the Philippines and exiting Philippines. Please take note that the Philippines is not yet open for international tourism, and foreign tourists are not yet allowed entry as of this time. However, there are some good news for those coming from the US and are considered eligible passengers. Starting January 1st of 2022, Philippines is now recognizing or accepting the CDC or Centers for Disease and Control and Prevention proof of vaccination record card from the US. Because there is no recognized national digital certificate for all US passengers, Philippines is now accepting the Vax card. So you don't really have to secure another international certificate of vaccination or yellow card just to enter the Philippines for purposes of shortened quarantine. The latest resolution, Philippines is now included under the yellow list country. Another good news is that even though all passengers are required to register through the One Health Pass 24 hours before flying to the Philippines, you are no longer required to upload two documents. No longer required to upload the Vax certificate or vaccination record, and you are no longer required to upload the 72-hour negative test in the One Health Pass. This is due to the technical issues of uploading these documents to the One Health Pass website. However, you still need to present your proof of vaccination, such as the CDC card if you are coming from the US, and also you will have to present your 72-hour negative test prior to boarding. Another good news is that you are no longer required to wear a face shield when traveling to the Philippines. This is the actual requirement. Areas under Alert Level 1, 2, and 3, voluntary wearing of face shields in the airport and during the flight. And this is mandated by the Philippine Department of Transportation effective November 16 of 2021. However, if you are in areas declared as Level 4 and Level 5, there is a mandatory wearing of face mask and a face shield. Now, regarding the bad news, there is actually a testing shortage in the Philippines, and the Alert Level 3 areas have been expanded. There are now more areas that are now placed under Alert Level 3, and unvaccinated people under Alert Level 3 cannot go out unless accessing essential goods and services or going to work. Based on the latest report from the Philippines, more areas will be placed under Alert Level 3. This is effective January 9. The government's pandemic task force approved the recommendation of its data analytics group to impose tighter restrictions on 14 areas. Now here are the provinces: Bataan, Batangas, Cagayan, Pampanga, Zambales. The cities are Angeles City, Baguio City, Dagupan City, Iloilo City, Lapu-Lapu City, Lucena, Naga, Olongapo, and Santiago City. Regarding business operations, businesses are allowed to operate at 30% indoor capacity and 50% outdoor capacity in areas under Alert Level 3. Buses, jeepneys, and other forms of public transportation operate at 70% capacity. Other areas that are now under Alert Level 3 are Metro Manila, Bulacan, Cavite, Rizal, and Laguna. There are now limited movements of unvaccinated people. President Rodrigo Duterte cited the need to strictly enforce minimum health standards and to limit the movements of unvaccinated persons. So, in the absence of law, the President is called upon to act, and because it is a national emergency, it is my position that we can restrain. I am now giving orders to the barangay captains to look for those persons who are not vaccinated and just would request them or order them, if you may, to stay put. And if he refuses, he goes out of the house and goes around in the community, or maybe wherever he goes, he can be restrained. And if he refuses, then the barangay captain, being a person in authority, is empowered now to arrest the recalcitrant persons. That is in addition to the police power, the agents of a person in authority. Regarding the vaccination percentage of the Philippine population, There are now more than 50 million Filipinos who are vaccinated against COVID-19 last year, or about 45.85% of the population. For those of you who are planning to go to the US soon, within the next few weeks or within the next few months, and as I understand, there's now a testing shortage in the Philippines. For your information, here are the requirements for US travel. First, you must be fully vaccinated and you must have a one-day testing. Or you must be fully vaccinated and you must have proof of recovery from COVID-19 within 90 days of flying. Let me provide the requirements. Required testing before air travel to the US. Required for air passengers 2 years of age or older before boarding a flight from a foreign country to the US. If you plan to travel to the US, you will need to get a COVID-19 viral test regardless of vaccination status or citizenship, no more than 1 day before you travel by air into the US. You must show your negative result to the airline before you board your flight. There are many questions being asked if antigen test is accepted in the US. The answer is yes. Antigen test is accepted in the US as long it is a viral test and the test is taken within 1 day. You must be tested with a viral test to look for current infection. This includes an antigen test or nucleic acid amplification test or NAAT. Phrases indicating a test is an antigen test could include but are not limited to rapid antigen test or viral antigen test or other phrases of antigen tests. Also, other acceptable tests are RT-PCR test and isothermal amplification tests such as NEAR, TMA, LAMP, HDA, CRISPR, or SDA. Per the CDC, the one-day time frame is used to provide more flexibility to the air passenger and aircraft operator. Acceptance of the test does not depend on the time of the flight or time of the day. For example, if your flight is 1 p.m. on a Friday, you can board the plane with a negative test taken anytime on the prior Thursday. Now, does the testing requirement apply to children? The answer is yes. It applies to all air passenger 2 years or older flying into the US. If you are unable to produce a one-day negative test because you were recently infected, here is the proof of recovery requirement. The proof of recovery must be within 90 days of flying to the US. If you recently recovered from COVID-19, you may instead travel with documentation of recovery from COVID-19. That is, you must have a positive viral test result on a sample taken no more than 90 days before the flight's departure from a foreign country and a letter from a licensed healthcare provider or a public health official stating that you were cleared for travel. If you recently traveled in the Philippines or the US, please share your travel experience below and let me know your thoughts regarding the travel restrictions. Thank you guys for supporting my channel, and if you have any other questions or comments, please post them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys for supporting my channel. I hope everyone is staying safe and have a great day.